With the police keeping a keen eye. Can you tell us more about the student who was shot yesterday and what the response has been around that?
Well, Nompo, we've just moved to the Wits University's medical campus. This is where I'm standing right now. This is where we saw just a few minutes ago into the past hours some clashes between the students as well as the security and police as well. The situation, basically what led to that was when students tried to disrupt some of the lectures that were taking place here at the medical campus. So we rushed over here to find some of those clashes taking place. We do understand that 4 students have been arrested at this campus and have been taken to the Hillbrow police station. What's happened is that the university has also brought in quite a number of security personnel as well as additional police officers to try and bring the situation under control. But just into the past few minutes, what we noticed is that lectures are continuing now in some of the lecture halls following some of those scuffles a little bit earlier on. But this is not just where we saw scuffles this morning and some of the interruptions at the main campus's West Campus. That's where we also saw some disruptions this morning. Some of the classes Wits University has indicated were disrupted, where some students had also thrown some firecrackers into lectures that were underway. So the university is keeping a very close eye on both of those campuses at this stage. But the university also indicates that it might look into relaxing some of the restrictions that it had put in place, including the 10 p.m. curfew that had been put in place. But depending on how the situation continues moving forward, you'd know that last night 2 vehicles were also set on fire, one outside the sports complex. So Wits University would need to look into whether it will relax some of those restrictions moving forward at this point. But with regard to the condition of the 2 students, we understand that Busisiwe Siabe was one of the student leaders who needed to receive oxygen yesterday after police had fired some rubber bullets, stun grenades, as well as some tear gas. She'd received some treatment. We understand that she's doing well now, but we've seen none of those students in public here this morning into this afternoon. We do know that Shahira Kala, who was shot, according to the Wits University, indicating 9 times, but what we're hearing from the Wits SRC is that she'd been shot 13 times. She'd also received treatment for her wounds. Of course, she was shot with rubber bullets, but we know that the Independent Police Investigative Directorate is also going to investigate that incident now. So certainly some answers would need to come from how that incident happened, because according to the footage that SABC News has, you can see Shahira Kala move towards police officers. This had been immediately after yesterday. Students had disrupted some of the tests that were being written at the chemical engineering section. So after that had happened, she tried to intervene with police and asked them to move a bit back, and that's when we saw those shots being fired. So that's also under investigation by the Independent Police Investigative Directorate. We've not heard from those students here this morning with regard to what their condition is. It certainly seems that we'll get an update much later on how they're progressing in terms of the wounds, and if they will be calling a press conference at all this afternoon.
All right, thanks very much, Chriselda. That's our reporter, Chriselda Lewis, keeping us abreast of what's happening at Wits University. On to your market news now. Well, Asian stocks were mostly low.